Hi, Andrew from SACS, and welcome to video number 4 in our 11 video sequence on personal intelligence, otherwise known as cognitive ability. And this one is about cognitive ability and its relationship to personal well-being. And here are some correlates of cognitive ability. Physical health is affected by cognitive ability. Smarter people tend to be more healthy. Mental health. So there's a relationship between cognitive ability and a degree of mental health, which is called psychopathology, which is a generalized tendency to be mentally unhealthy. And people who are higher in cognitive ability are, in general, higher in mental health. Self-control. So one of the characteristics that determines how successful people are in their life is the degree to which they have the capacity to self-regulate, to manage their emotions, to respond appropriately to the sort of challenges that come their way. Cognitive ability is a good predictor of self-control and self-regulation. Happiness and life satisfaction. There's a strong correlation between cognitive ability and happiness. Smarter people tend to be happier. And then physical attractiveness. So this is the work of Satoshi Kanazawa and colleague, where he was able to demonstrate that cognitive ability and physical attractiveness are correlated. They're general well-being kind of concepts, but what about income? Are dollars affected by cognitive ability? Well, the answer is yes. There have been many of these studies done over the years, and this is a very recent one from 2024, where we measure the degree of cognitive ability and income in Scandinavia. And what you'll see is that this article was called Steeper at the Top because it shows the relationship between cognitive ability and income. And you'll see that as you get to the higher levels of income, you in fact get an acceleration of the curve. In other words, people at the lower end of the cognitive ability scale tend to be paid less, and people at the higher end of the cognitive ability scale tend to be paid more. But not only do they tend to be paid more, the rate of increase as you increase income actually becomes steeper. Isn't it interesting? So smart people tend to be paid more, but as you get higher and higher and higher into the levels of income, the level of increase in IQ actually increases. Fascinating stuff. Video number 5 in the sequence is about cognitive ability's relationship to personality and values. This is the question of individual differences. People vary in their personality, their values, and their cognitive ability. But what's the relationship between those three things? Are they related? Click on the link near this video to join us and find out.